welcome to another week. Why are you guys laughing? How are you going to say it? How are you going to say it? Hey, welcome to another episode of Direct to Review. It's your favorite threesome.
Not my favorite threesome.
I'm gonna drink it number 3, maybe, of my list of threesomes.
Trevor here. We got...
Oh, yeah, Leonard and, of course...
Celeste.
Yep, we're back for another special... Well, we've had so many damn special episodes.
Every episode is special.
Every episode's special. You know what? We're coming
In my
up to the
heart,
end of the year.
every
and
episode's special.
We're putting effort into this, but it's kind of falling a little bit behind.
The holidays are crazy. They're crazy.
But we should announce that we are going to be taking a week off to kind of reset ourselves and then bring you some amazing content coming into the new year of 2018.
2018.
We made
2018.
it.
I don't
Year
know how we made
of
it.
the...
I don't know.
Pig?
Did you come into this without any kind of preparation?
I was almost there. I mean, I had 1 in 12 chances of getting it right.
You
I
did.
This is true.
Do you know what it is, though?
I'm going to stick with pig.
Isn't it the ball?
That's kind of how zodiacs work, right? You just guess.
I think last year was year of the rooster.
I don't know.
I think it was.
Cock. That's my year.
The year of the cock. Oh, it's Leonard.
Oh my goodness. No.
You're the dog.
The year of the dog.
You
Hey,
said
oh,
that. You literally just
Why is there a
agreed
picture?
to it.
Why is there a picture of Fred right there?
Oh my god.
Oh my God! It's the year of the pug.
It's the year of the
It's
Fred.
the year of the pug.
Year of the
It's the
Fred.
year of the bug.
All right. How far off was I with pig? Wow, not in the next 4 years. Okay.
Wow.
Is pig one of them?
Trevor.
Yeah, the pig is one of them.
Boar is 2019.
Oh yeah, that's
You're
a pig.
only a year off.
That's a furry pig with tusks.
Okay. Well.
There was a lot of wild boars in the
I don't
movie we
know.
Well,
watched.
yeah. Speaking of wild boars, what did we watch this week? We didn't ever say.
Oh yeah. So we're doing another special. We're finishing this up. We have come to it. We're coming at it hard. That's right. Baahubali 2. The conclusion.
Bum bum bum.
Which, by the way, holy crap,
I
this one
loved
was
it.
better than the
Oh
first
my
one.
god! I didn't. Yeah, right. There's
was
no.
so much
Little,
better.
there's nothing in the little corner saying anytime they use a CG animal.
Right? That was nice.
that because they had the disclosure at the beginning? Like,
Maybe.
this animal is CG, this animal is CG, this animal is CG.
Probably.
Because you can kind of tell.
But yeah.
Although I have to say the CG got better,
it did.
It
It
did.
did.
Got a
They
lot
had,
better.
they had more money.
except for the ending.
Oh yeah.
That was pretty craptastic.
If
But
you-
it was just the ending sequence, like just the credit sequence. So that wasn't bad, I guess.
Yeah, I guess so. But I feel like everything got better in this. The visuals, the music,
The story.
the story.
Well, I mean, the
kicked
story was all the original story of the original
Right.
Baahubali.
Yeah.
It was so. I mean,
I like his
we had
story a
45
lot
minutes.
better.
45 minutes of that story at the end of. No, how long was that? It was like 45 minutes in the
Yeah,
first
yeah,
one.
yeah. In the first
And
one, it was
this
like
one
45 minutes, yeah.
75% all about the past. About
And that was good because his story was really interesting. It was a little confusing at the beginning, not gonna lie, because I felt like we missed something.
we just got thrown into a ceremony that was happening with his mom.
Not just that, but when he was like pretending to be a peasant, I didn't really catch on to the fact that he was
You're
pretending
going like
to.
way far into it already.
Yeah, that
Yeah,
wasn't
we
the
are.
beginning.
That
was
wasn't
like-
the beginning.
That was like the
He
second.
grew up first, Leonard. Okay,
guys.
so Baahubali grows
Can
up.
I talk about what I want to talk?
No, because we're not to that part yet, Leonard.
Yeah, we are.
No, we're
When do we
not.
ever go in
We're
order though? So
That's true.
let's talk about the end.
Because that's where we are, apparently.
All right, Leonard. So he was a peasant.
Okay, so let's set
And
the
you're
scene,
confused.
though. Let's set
No.
the scene.
Yeah, we got to go over what this movie is about versus the last one.
Yeah.
Yeah. So who wants to do that? Apparently, we
So-
all went
so
silent.
This
for
one
some
follows the
reason.
story of the father of him meeting the Baahubali, his son's mother,
Right.
and falling in love with her, and how that relationship came to be, and basically how he eventually got to the point where he is betrayed by Katapa.
No, Katapa, no.
But he wasn't really betrayed by Katapa. That's the thing.
Yes, he
But
was.
he was still killed by Katapa.
Okay, but let's keep moving. Let's keep moving on this.
Okay. So
We'll fight that out one later. That one out a little bit here.
basically, at some point, going 30 minutes into the movie, the mom sends Baahubali. What are we going to call him?
Baahubali the First.
The first
Amarandra.
Amarandra. We call him A Baahubali, and M Baahubali is the one from the first one because
Which, that would have been helpful the first time we
yeah,
watched
we just
it.
knew
Why didn't we?
Baahubali. I guess maybe like that's one of the complaints I got, so they fixed that.
Yeah,
they made sure they
like,
called them by
listen,
their first name like every time.
You know what? I kind of felt like they actually did go back and redo their first movie in this because they spent so much time going over the events that they already went over. So it fixed itself on the complaints that you did have.
The confusion of like why are these two Baahubali basically.
Yeah, that was probably the biggest complaint I had was I didn't know who Baahubali was because one was Shiva, one was Baahubali, and then both were Baahubali all of a sudden.
Did you notice that when the father had like a fake peasant name? I think he chose the same name, Siva.
Yeah, it was Shiva.
Yeah.
That was pretty funny. I like that. I mean, it was cool. So so basically, the father and Katapa go on, I guess, a pilgrimage around all of their kingdoms.
Other
kingdoms.
This is after the battle of the first movie when he is going to be crowned king.
Right.
And so his mother sends him off saying, "Go make sure all the people in our kingdom are happy."
As he's doing this, though, his brother's father, so I guess his uncle.
Right with the shivel hand.
One with the little hand.
I don't know his name.
I don't know his name either.
Yeah,
it's
but
fine.
He ran away. He's already trying to plot against Baahubali.
Right, and he was even to the point
planting ideas.
Wanted to kill the queen mother. That's like his first thing that he wanted to do was.
And that's his wife. So.
Right, he's a fantastic person and a great role model. Is what we're saying.
I wanted him to die in a gruesome
way. I wanted him
God.
to die throughout the entire movie when he was like almost dying. I was like, someone just kill him.
Yeah.
If you hear slurping, ignore it.
No, we're gonna pause and just stare at.
Silence.
When we pause,
I've had a long day. I need this coffee.
Everyone, we're staring at Leonard.
That's right. I didn't slurp.
Oh, he was quiet.
Dang it.
He was drinking coffee.
Yes, I was.
He's tired. He's an old man.
I am an old man.
All right. So basically, they go on this pilgrimage.
Yep.
They end up in this beautiful wine country of India.
Oh my God! And that was the thing. I kept saying throughout it. I'm like, is this a real place in India? Please say it's a real place in India.
Is India this beautiful?
Oh,
and
beautiful
you
mountains.
meet M. Bahubali's mom.
Yeah, Devasanya.
Devasanya.
I want to say that's correct.
That sounds right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Which we were introduced to in the first one, but she was like old and
an old
sunburned
ragged woman that was kept outside for 25
I'm
years.
almost 100% sure that they actually reduced her makeup as the old version of herself in this one, because I remember the last time she looked more haggard.
Maybe because she was in the sunlight supposed to have been like standing outside for weeks. And this point, maybe she like took a bath, got some moisture in her skin.
It was literally happening right directly after the movie. After the last one.
Maybe they just lessened it because
maybe she took a bath.
this one,
She didn't take
this was the first movie that the studio did in 4K. So maybe they were like, we gotta.
Oh yeah, we gotta be careful.
Maybe
there.
that was just 1080 wrinkles. They got
That's 1080
wrinkles.
when they 4K stretched it, stretched out the wrinkles.
You know what's funny? Side note on this: when all of the news stations went HD,
They have to start wearing more makeup.
every anchor freaked out because they were used to wearing a certain amount of makeup, and then after the first broadcast, they all looked at themselves and were like, "Uh oh."
Wait, news is in 4K?
I said the first time they were in HD.
Oh, they said 4K. I was like, wait.
I did not.
There's
I
no
mean,
T-
there
eventually,
might be
right?
one day, but why?
Yeah, there's no point.
There's really no reason.
Even, yeah.
But anyways, back to the actual
All
story.
right.
So he makes it to this like beautiful mountain kingdom. It's a smaller one where he meets one of my favorite characters whose name I never really caught.
Right? That guy.
The guy.
Who is he?
I don't know. And honestly, it's impossible to know by looking at the IMDb
It's
page.
Kumar or something.
Yeah, but anyways.
He was
some-
a rich
VK.
dude from another kingdom who was also
trying to win the heart of.
Yes.
Or that's what we think.
Well, yeah, he
it
proposed to her.
Change the cast order. Sort by.
We can do that?
Yeah, right
Sort
there.
by.
Name.
That's not helpful.
That is
That's by the actor's name, huh?
Yeah, it
Yeah.
is.
Dang it.
Good job, Trevor.
Star meter.
That doesn't help us either.
Maybe he's a star.
Anyway, so meet him. He's kind of a coward. Actually, we first meet him during like a raid that was going on where he ends up actually seeing Devasina? I don't know how to say it properly.
Let's go there.
Devasina. Where she's like this incredible warrior princess, like Xena style.
She's
Better.
She can wield the sword. She can wield the bow and arrow.
Yeah, and the other guy was hiding on top of a roof, trying to tell people where to go. So
He was a little scared.
yeah, but Baahubali A decided he was going to go and try to win her affections by pretending to be a numbskull, which was a little weird.
Yeah.
It took me a while to figure that out too. It literally, I had to wait for the uncle to explain it while he was explaining his plot to get the crown for his son, because I was not clear on that, and I feel like I missed dialogue somewhere.
Yeah, they were. So they just made a choice really quick. They're like, okay, we're gonna play dumb.
Yep, we're gonna play done.
Yep, and
Well,
Right,
even
let's go. I mean, I do that every day.
Katapa
I don't
was
need to make that
like,
choice.
"Why are we doing this? Why don't you just tell her who you are? You know, you're this great ruler. You could get her, no problem."
it brought some comedy into it though, because I mean,
It was
Katapa did a
so
really
nice.
good job of being like a dummy and like a
And you know what?
groveling servant.
Directly after that, we get to see our first like serious Bollywood dance sequence.
Yeah.
Like even, I mean, the first one had one or two, but this one, it topped it.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my god, so good.
As she was singing her love songs,
Her lullaby.
for the idiot.
She was singing
I
her
feel like this
lullaby.
movie, there's so much to go over
Mm-hmm.
It is
because
a very
we're
long
only like
movie.
what 45 minutes into the movie how we're describing this, because from here, his brother finds out that Baahubali is in love with her, so he
They
decides.
have really good spies because I'm like they
Really
know
good
exactly,
spies. Like, I don't-
exactly know what he's doing. He's like
I don't think anybody currently has a spy that good. Like they didn't even know where he was, but you know what? I know what he's like.
he's in love with this woman.
So
And they have a painting. How they got
Right, they
paintings
got
of
a,
those paintings
they got
are
a
quick.
painting
a
of
giant
her.
painting of her random.
it's something else. But anyway, so he plots to force his mother to promise her to, what is his name?
They call him Baha.
Baha? Yeah,
should call-
Baha.
they'll call
Because
him Baha.
Bahala
Uh-huh.
Deva.
Yeah, it's a longer name, but they
But-
would call him Bahala. Bahala.
Bahala. So, anyways, he plots to force his mother to promise Devasanya to Bahala, and then Katapa misunderstands and thinks that it was promised to Baahubali, and that she denies it, and then that causes the mother to like declare war against them and say that Baahubali has to bring her as a prisoner. And then there's this whole incredible battle sequence that I don't know where it came
Yeah,
from.
random
Right,
army is
the
attacking.
random. What were they?
They were
the
just
one
like
country.
Bandits.
They were bandits, yeah,
They
but
were
it was like a
big-ass army.
serious.
They were the kingdom
And they
of
had
bandits. They
chain
were-
metal. Like, where did they get
European
that?
style chain metal
Well, I mean,
too.
Katapa, let's go back to. I mean, Katapa was confused because the mom also promised Baahubali that by the time he returns from this
He would have
Yeah,
a
he would
beautiful
have a
wife.
wife.
because she had ancient Indian Tinder for him, where he just got to swipe
Yeah.
left on all these princess images.
Well, he didn't even get to swipe. It was the
Yeah,
mother
it
in
was the
charge of the
mom.
swiping.
The
Yeah.
mom was like, no.
Yeah. So, this big battle sequence where they find out Baahubali is Baahubali and he's actually super strong and amazing. And apparently the Flash,
Every,
He's all the Avengers. He can climb, he can sprint.
I absolutely did love the part where he was just standing there and then he was gone. And I was like,
you see his like, you even see his like little like his
my
shadow.
favorite, it's
being,
in my head, I'm like, oh my God, Barry went back. Barry Allen.
I've noticed that almost every great invention he has though involves trees.
It is
Right.
fantastic.
He looks
But
at a palm tree and he gets an idea. It's like a light bulb going off. It's the coconuts above his head.
It's the only thing that he knows what to do with. Like, honestly.
Anytime he's like, "What are you going to do?" Look to the trees.
I was about to make a really pretentious joke. I'm sorry. Charlemagne. Anyways, we're going to move on now.
Shut up, Bludder.
I will. So after the battle, he then finds out that his mother wants him to take her prisoner.
And then we go on to our next great Bollywood number
Oh
on
my
the
God.
Swan Boat.
Because
This
they
boat.
promised themselves to each other because he misunderstood. Because Katapa misunderstood that he thought he was supposed to marry her. So
But he was in love with her anyway.
Yeah.
Pretty
Now she was in love with him
sure-
because he's
yeah.
badass.
I'm
Then we
pretty
get
sure
on the
that was
Swan
all
Boat.
sex.
oh yeah,
I'm pretty sure sex ensued on the Swan Boat.
but it was
This-
an amazing dance.
This boat had
sequence.
like 25 sails.
Right.
And then it was in the
flew
sky.
through the
Yeah.
air.
It turned
It was
into Peter
amazing.
Pan.
It was a boat, then it was a plane, and then it was a boat again.
I mean, they have really good love songs in both of these movies. I mean,
Yeah.
the other one is a little weird. Like he was like painting makeup on her in the first one.
Yeah,
but
that
this
was
one,
weird.
That one was more like a 1970s porno that was about to go somewhere farther than
he
it
had
wanted to go.
his mustache looked thicker in the first
It
one.
really did.
It
because
did, and his
it's-
luscious locks.
It is the same actor.
It is. But yeah, so we finally get there. That's when everything's revealed that Baahubali was part of a whole
A ruse.
misunderstanding ruse.
Yeah.
No, it was a ruse because the brother plotted.
Well, that's true.
this.
That's true. And then he has to give up being crowned king, and
No.
Because he
Stay
wants
with
the
his-
slice of heaven.
With his wife,
yeah.
with Davasanya.
So I feel like we need to pick up the pace on the story because I think we're now an hour in because there's still a whole bunch more to explain.
God.
So basically, he leaves. He becomes a commoner. All the people still love
No,
him.
we're not there yet. We're not even close to that part yet.
Oh, that's right. He becomes the commander of the army, and the people uprise and are
Then-
like, "We want Baahubali."
Then
Right.
she gets pregnant.
She gets pregnant with
Pregnant.
Baahubali.
And she like tells off his mother. She's like, "How can you not see all of these plots
Chops
going
off
on in front
the
of
fingers
you?"
of a guy.
Because he tried to grope her.
And
Yeah.
then Baahubali beheads another guy.
The
which
same
then-
guy.
The same
Yeah.
guy who got his
Who
fingers
took-
chopped off.
Who took over his position as
Oh, is he the commander?
Yeah,
Okay.
as commander. Because Bahala was like, I'm going to give you a gift. You don't have to work anymore. So there you go. And
Which
what
was
ended-
disrespectful.
which was very disrespectful.
Rude.
And then they get banished because of the murder. And then he becomes a commoner.
He
and
becomes
starts-
Jesus Christ.
Yep,
Right?
He starts
Every-
He
building-
was friggin' Christ
the imagery,
figure.
he was
It was
very
a- it was a
Christ-like.
very yeah. It was.
He
a
even
Christ
gets almost
figure, but-
crucified at the end, guys.
He pretty
Well,
much
here's the
did.
thing.
They like staked him to
I don't
the
know.
ground.
I don't know if I can call it a Christ figure because they have the same figures in
Yeah,
their
okay,
own
yeah.
religion.
Oh,
so
that's
I know
true.
that's just
The
us.
equivalent of the Indian. Yeah, that's what we see it as.
The
Yeah.
wasp American.
Yeah. I'm sure. Yeah.
Yeah.
Very
So
religious figure, though. He was.
you should probably explain WASP. I know we did in our
I
difficult
have-
people
I
one.
have to
White Anglo-Saxon.
A white Anglo-Saxon Protestant
Yes,
WASP.
that's WASP.
wasp.
Just so you know, it's not derogatory.
That's just literally what they.
It's
Yeah,
just
that's
shortening
what they call
words,
it.
so we don't have to say it all.
Exactly.
And I can't pronounce any of those. I can say wasp.
So anyway, so now he is a commoner and everything,
and
but
the people still love him.
yeah, and Bahala is like, we need to kill him because obviously people will never be happy with me if he's still alive. And so that's when he devises a plan to make it look like he tried. Yeah, I'm back. Okay.
He's crying, guys. It's so
I'm
beautiful.
crying. No, my favorite character, whose name I don't know, which is so sad.
The rich guy.
I think it's like Vara or something.
Yeah, it was Vara.
I'm pretty sure it was
Something
Vara.
Vara. Oh, right there.
Varma.
Kumara Varma.
I do, really?
His see the actor's name is Sabaharu.
All right, well, I don't see that. But anyways. Oh, okay. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's him. If it's not, oh well. Anyways, so he tricks him into sneaking into his palace and making it look like he tried to kill the king. But what ended up happening is he got killed. And that's when...
And then the king is like, Mother, Baahubali wanted to kill me, and he sent his friend to try to kill me. Let's kill him. And the mother is so frustrating during this entire movie. She is ridiculous.
Yeah.
She like cannot see anything that's happening.
She was
She's
such
like,
a badass in the first one, too.
Right?
Right.
And then she's like, Baahubali, you're banished from this, and you're banished from this. And
Because she played right into his hands the entire time.
And then she was like, well, we gotta kill Baahubali now.
I mean, I don't know who's. I mean, obviously she was doing all the what she thought was right by the law because
she
but
wanted...
she didn't want to lose the respect of like the. But then all
That's
the
the thing.
crowds,
She-
all the people of her country already love Baahubali. Just
She didn't want to look wrong. That was
Yeah.
the whole thing. Because the whole thing was, my word is law. I do not make mistakes.
and
Even though they say gods even make mistakes. But she doesn't.
But
she's
she
above
What is
God,
that?
'cause she's
What is
queen.
that?
I don't know.
Anyways,
But
so...
she also didn't see the flaws in the other son. I
Yeah.
mean, she had a lot.
No.
The father poisoned his mind, and maybe he was a good guy at one point, but
Not no mo.
yeah, he
I don't
was
know.
he was lost.
Anyway, so that's when they forced Katapa into killing Baahubali.
Which, like, I
And-
don't understand why he actually did it. I was like, you could have literally
Because
left.
if
you
he
could have
wasn't-
killed yourself.
Because if he didn't do it, then the mother was going to.
Yeah,
And that was the whole thing. And he was like, no, I'm not letting you do this because he thought it was true. He thought, yeah, okay, I could see him trying to kill Bahala. And
No,
then-
he was there, wasn't he? Or
No, he was not. No.
Oh, okay.
So
But
that's when
he's at one point in the movie he tells the mother she didn't know his own son, but Mike, I feel like he didn't know Baahubali if he thought he would really try to kill Baahubali.
Right? And like they were
Bahala.
so sweet to him. They're like, we don't have our fathers.
So
you're
you're
gonna
gonna
be
be the
our
father."
father,
Yeah.
and you're gonna be our baby's grandfather.
Although
And-
Baahubali killed a bunch of people, he would not kill anybody that was undeserving at that point. That was
Exactly.
trying to kill him.
And the thing is that on the day that this all happens, the Baahubali that we end up following 25 years later is born. And that's where we actually kind of pick up.
Yeah, right into the beginning of the first
because eventually Katsuba does, there's an ambush and he eventually takes the opportunity to stab him literally in the back.
one. We find out why the queen is running away with his baby.
And then Bahala admits to everything while he mutilates Bahubali's body.
Mm-hmm.
And then
Yeah, it was
he
vicious.
tells...
And then Katapa sees it and hears it and's like, "Oh shit, queen!
And he doesn't
this is
say...
what went down."
And he doesn't say you made a mistake. He goes, you were wrong. And that just shocks her to her
Yes.
core.
She has a really good shocked face.
Yeah,
she
she
Did it
does.
like 4 times in this movie.
She was really good at being shocked because she was so wrong all the time.
She was so wrong.
Let's talk about Kataba's plan really quick too. How he ended up killing, getting to the point where he killed Baahubali. I mean,
I don't know if it was a plan per se.
why did
I
he
don't
tie
know
himself
if
to
he
a
had
tree?
one. I don't think he had that plan. I feel like that might have been their plan, and they were like, "Oh,
He's gonna
Katsuba's
free
being
you."
executed." Like,
Were they planning on him freeing him?
yes, because that was his child's grandfather, and according to tradition, the grandfather had to be the first one to hold the baby, and his wife was
Right.
in labor.
And then they hired like another.
I don't know.
I don't think they hired them.
I don't think
This
they
is-
hired them. I feel
This
like
is what I think happened because I was trying to piece it together last night. I think that their plan was half started and then it got interrupted by a raiding bandit, the raiding bandit party.
So that their plan was to have him free him and then he'd kill him.
Yeah, I think that was the whole thing.
Okay.
I don't think it would have worked.
And then the bandits came up and were like attacking, and Bahubali slays all of them
With a palm
arrows
tree.
in his back. He
Yeah.
literally had arrows in his back, like 13.
nine or 10 of them. It
I,
was
I knew this
insane.
Bahubali had to die because we have another Bahubali later, but I was still sad when he started getting beat
I
up
was
and
so sad.
getting shot.
But he died with dignity.
And when
Yeah.
he died, he was like, "Take care of my mother," and I was like, "No, she's the one that killed you."
Yeah.
he was
So
he
frustrating.
had to die for the sins of others.
Yeah.
So okay, now we're finally up to where we need to be, and we come back 25 years into the future. Which, by the way, his luscious locks are not as good as his father, even though I know it's the same actor. Which is a
Right?
little
I'm
weird.
like, I feel like the
He didn't like
father is just more in every way.
Yeah.
which is kind of cool because the same actor technically
Yeah, he
Wasn't the
encompassed
same
2
person.
different people.
like hardcore, and it was awesome.
Well, I mean, the brother he looked completely different as the old version of
Yeah,
himself
he
too.
did.
He looked better.
Yeah, he was like he'd already been fully encompassed in
Even
evil.
The shriveled hand guy, he looked older. Like
Even
they
the high
had
priest,
really,
they kept the high priest
Yeah.
and made him
Yeah.
older looking.
they did a great job at making people look old.
Absolutely.
Which was weird because we saw them first as old, and then saw them as young, and then back as old, and then
But we were more comfortable with the young.
Yeah, I was
We
like,
appreciate. I
I
think
don't even know
appreciated their
you.
old-looking selves more. Like I thought they were just old people until
Yeah.
I saw them young. I'm like, wait, no, that's all makeup.
That was
Like,
actually
shoot.
really impressive.
Yeah.
that
impressive, too.
was.
So, anyways, he decides to rise up against the king and finally take revenge for his father, and obviously he do.
He do
In
real
a
good.
incredible battle sequence with a very satisfying ending.
Yeah, I mean, they couldn't have. I mean, we knew it was going to happen. Unless they threw a wrench in the plan. But
I mean, there
I-
was
it
a
was-
funeral pyre involved in all
Right,
of
that
this.
his mother had been making for 25 years.
obviously wanted to show that Bahubali could get beat up a little bit because his brother was almost his equal, and or his uncle was almost his dad's equal when
Yeah.
they were battling. I mean, of course, they had to reincorporate that and make a better version of the human lawnmower.
That thing was awesome.
They-
Shot
they
arrows.
thought
Shot
the first one was
arrows.
amazing, and then they're like, okay, we're gonna take that and inject it with
And then
Arrows and
we're gonna
bulls.
put bulls there. It's gonna be great,
no horses
guys.
are gonna be hurt this time.
It was amazing.
It was longer.
It was longer.
It was very long.
He infiltrated the walls using palm trees.
Yes, he did,
And
that
all
part
the
was kind
people
of dumb
fell
for
behind
me.
him.
Yeah, like there was like those. Okay, I mean Baahubali surviving that fall, like that speed of.
Yeah, but then everyone flung themselves over in just by holding themselves together in a round circle of shields.
The centripetal force would have been way too strong for those guys to hold themselves together.
And those
You
ones
can't
were real high.
manipulate yourself that much in air with
And
that
they were
much
like
metal on you.
spinning.
And they would just like pop out, like they're like, all right, and we landed.
Yeah.
No, that's not how that works.
India
You would
is the
be
land
dead.
of rubber band trees.
And apparently,
And rubber band people.
I feel like if I pull on a tree hard enough, it'd just snap and it'd like smack me in the face.
probably.
I have a palm tree in my front yard. It's not that bendy.
Well, then we need to try it.
Okay.
All right, we'll
We're gonna
try
put
that.
you in a ball.
Experiments to come.
And I'm gonna
Metal ball. It has to be a metal ball. Oh man. But you know what?
I accepted it. I thought it was.
Yeah.
You know
what?
in this world of Baahubali.
I thought they were very creative.
They were, and that's my biggest complaint. That's the first time I've ever had that few complaints. All right, so you know what? That movie was just incredible, and it was so well done, and it was just I don't know. The artistry in this one was so much better. It felt, and I made the comment just right in the middle of it. It was like it felt. The last one felt so dreary. This one felt more like a fairy tale.
Yeah. Definitely.
Specifically with the Kingdom in the Mountain. Like it was so beautiful.
Oh man.
We didn't see such imagery in the first one. The first one, it was like all crappy.
Right? We saw
A lot more-
a waterfall.
We saw a lot more battles. I mean, that one. I mean, even like they tried to go fantastical when they were doing the love song where he's putting the makeup on her, but like that felt very fake.
It felt like it was.
With
So
with
weird.
I don't know. It
Like
was
this
just
one, even when they were
weird.
flying through the clouds, they made like the clouds would roll over the ship, and like I mean, it was all.
Yeah,
It
it
looked
was
like horses. The
beautiful.
clouds looked like horses.
Yeah.
They did.
That was amazing.
I accepted a lot easier than the love scene in the other one.
Yeah.
and it was even though I know that they weren't floating in the sky.
Yeah. And
That's-
even though this movie was longer,
It didn't feel longer.
I felt like it felt shorter.
Yeah, it was
Definitely.
such a good movie. I wouldn't say start from this one because you're going to be missing out on a lot in the first one.
You have
You
a
might
whole
be a little behind.
story to catch up on.
And their ear for music of like when to like have that like every time like he'd do something amazing, how that music would just uprise. And,
The music was so much better.
There were no breaks in the music this time. There were no
No
weird
cutoffs.
pauses. I don't even understand why that happened in the last one. I feel like that was probably something that happened in translation. Like at some point when they were doing it for streaming that it got messed up because when
It
I
was
see
really
this one,
random in the first one.
yeah, when I see this one, it's not even at the same level. Like that, this one took it 40 notches up and then another 140 in the other direction. And it's like, what the hell? Why couldn't you have done that in the first one? But I really do. I want to give them the benefit of the doubt and say the first one probably had maybe even it was budget errors or something like that where they just couldn't pull it together.
Yeah.
But you know what? The first one was good enough to get them into this stage of the second one. And it was fantastic. Absolutely fantastic. And we need to talk about Bahu M and Bahala and how those two yoked themselves out
Oh
by
my
the end
God,
of the
they
movie.
were so shredded when
Holy
they were shirts
shit.
They had like 10 packs.
Right?
Even as an
You have
old
some
man.
packs
the-
on your packs.
Like they had their chests were bigger than anything I'd ever seen in any movie.
They were
or
bigger
any-
than the oxen that were pulling the
Yeah.
human lawnmower 2.0.
I don't even know if it was like maybe that was CG, maybe that was like forced perspective, maybe it was a shooting technique that made them look bigger, but they seemed bigger.
They did full Captain
They looked like
America
two
on
like
this.
demigods fighting it out. They
And
were
it-
like super sane.
And that's the thing. Like the kingdom in which they're fighting for is actually more like the Indian version of Valhalla, where the gods go and the gods live, because you know they used to believe that there was a god, or the person who ruled it had 12 arms. Like, that's what they believed. And so to me, it felt more like a very loose, very different Valhalla. That's not where people are trying to go to. It's a kingdom amongst.
I wanted
Other
Baahubali to
things.
grow like 6 arms and
Wow.
become like Shiva.
Right?
I don't know.
Just like shoot out of his sides.
But I feel like that they took this and took the folklore into it and were like, they shouldn't look like people. They should look like demigods.
They are the demigods.
If you enjoy some Super Saiyan and you enjoy Piccolo fighting,
Oh my god,
the battle scene in this one between them two was just it was,
insane!
I couldn't take my eyes off of it. It was awesome.
Well, I was cooking dinner, so I had to take my eyes off of it a couple of
It's
times.
okay. You got an amazing play-by-play.
By Mrs. Torres herself.
Mrs. Torres, who's that?
Okay, so I haven't changed my name yet.
Okay.
But maybe
Ever.
I will one day.
I opened a
You never
can of
will.
worms.
Yeah, let's talk about Baahubali, damn it. All right.
I
So
bet his wife didn't change her name.
she did. I don't even know they do that, do they?
We'll never know.
We'll never know.
But we'll assume that I'm right.
Okay, you're right. All right. So favorite moments. Favorite moments in this movie. I know that's difficult because there were so many awesome moments. I'm going to kick it off with saying the first Bollywood sequence we see when Devasanya is singing in the prayer room.
Mm-hmm.
I loved that. It was so beautiful. It was so well done. It was iconic Bollywood, and it felt so folklorish and so well done. Okay. And we had just come off of a scene where Katapa was hilarious. So I was already happy, and then that made me happier.
Katapa's got a good voice too.
He does. Well, I don't think he actually does.
That was not him.
Well, seeing how there were many actors who played Katapa's voice,
That's true.
so we don't even know who.
His beard's pretty epic though.
Like the one we watched was Hindi.
Yeah, we watched Hindi.
And by the
again.
way, I'm just going to point this out. That's the Hindi actor.
That's Katapa.
Sharad Kalkar. No, this is Baahubali.
Oh, that's his voice.
Yeah. So if you're watching the Telugu or Tamil, which is the one that? Well, which is the one that is original?
Oh, the Telugi. The
Telugi. Anyways, that's
Telugu.
Prabhas.
Yeah, that's actually him.
Yeah.
He does look like a 70s porn star.
He
Always.
is
oh
a
my
god.
Oh my god, look
Look
at
at
those
those
sunglasses. Oh, I forgot he did that scene in the first one too.
Yeah.
Okay, we're talking about pictures that we're seeing right now. Let me describe them.
We did when he was rising up and there was his face of his father in the clouds.
Yes, in the clouds.
Mufasa moment.
Right.
They were both coming
Several
down.
times in
do
this
you know-
movie.
Bahala.
I was like, is this Lion King?
Do you know your Simpson lore?
Little bit.
Okay, so there was an episode back when Lisa met the jazz singer Bleeding Gums Murphy, and he passed away, and she saw him in the clouds. And
Oh, yep, I saw that.
then it went to the next one, which was Darth Vader, and then the very last one ended up being Mufasa, but he goes, what was it? Follow your heart, Simba, because the story that Disney stole, Lion King. I can't help. Every time I see it in the clouds, I'm like, Kimba.
No,
All right, favorite moments. Come on now.
Favorite moments. I would have to say when your favorite character, Kumar Varma,
Yeah.
He's in this. He's in the palace when they're getting attacked, and he's with like a bunch of like the
I know
serving
what you mean.
women.
Yeah.
And he's in there and he's hiding. And Baahubali comes flying into the window like a freaking superhero, and he's like, "Protect us! They're gonna break into here too!" And he's like, and he just gives him a little knife.
Every coward has his moment.
Yeah, he's like every coward has his moment, and that's when he decides to be. That's when he becomes a warrior. I'm like,
After getting
greatest
stabbed twice.
yeah, the greatest leaders inspire men.
Yeah.
And they don't do it all themselves. So I'm like, that was my favorite Baahubali.
And after that, he was like a badass, killing tigers and like extremely strong warrior. And if it hadn't been for Baahubali telling him, even the most cowardly person can be extraordinary, and he literally doing it, and also that guy falling on his knife. Yeah. Oh my God, yes. There were so many good moments.
My favorite is a small one, but it's when Baahubali is like playing a numbskull and he's with, what did we decide his name was? Kumar
Varma.
We're probably really wrong.
Kumara Varma.
Kumara Varma. So he's trying to swing, Kumara Varma is trying to swing his sword onto a block of wood.
Oh.
And he's like, this is how you do it, Baahubali. I'm training you to be a great warrior. And then the princess walks by and Baahubali uses a little bit too much force and the log of wood gets cut in half. And she was like, wow,
His
you're
acting
so
bad.
strong, Kumara. Wow. And then you see Kumara later in his room trying to chop
A
the
little tiny
wood
piece of wood.
in his bathroom. He's like, "You did it this morning."
I feel like there's even more comedy in this one than the first one.
There was, and I think that is what made it actually feel shorter. Is that it wasn't all serious, and we weren't trying to figure out something that was going on. Instead, we were enjoying the movie. We were absolutely enjoying the movie. There was never a moment where I was like, okay, we need to move on from this. No, I was like, okay, let's keep at this kingdom for a little bit longer.
Let's
Little
stay
longer,
here
guys.
forever.
Forever. That's good.
They burned it down, though.
They did burn it down, bastards.
Bahala.
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 What a jerk. I hate him. I'm glad he died.
Me too.
This movie really has a little bit of everything, and I feel like anybody can enjoy it. I mean,
Honestly, yes.
The
I
music,
think,
the fighting.
which kind of sucks because if you think about how we're going to have to recommend this, and just take a moment, let's break this down for a second. And the way I'm thinking of it, I can't recommend this without recommending the first one.
You have to watch the
Yeah.
first one. You
Right.
have to get through the first one to get to the amazing second one.
But just like with anybody who asks, hey, is the Arrow any good? I always tell them, get through the first 3 seasons, and yes.
That's too many
I
seasons
feel
to
like there's a
commit
lot of things
to.
nowadays, though. I mean, like.
Well,
people
actually,
that
no,
are-
the first season. For a lot of people, it's first 2, but for me, it's just the first. Anyways.
I mean, like, when I was recommending Game of Thrones to people that weren't going to watch, I said, okay, watch the whole first season. They have to see Ned Stark get his head
Right,
cut
right,
off
right.
to like, be stuck.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, there's a commitment to things that are truly good. It's all because you don't want things to be good right away. You want to build up to everything that makes it better
But you know
when
what?
it gets there.
I agree with that when it comes to TV shows. With movies, that's where it
I
becomes
kind of want
hard.
it to be good all
Yeah.
the time.
Because you have a limited seating time. You know what I mean? When you have to think about a movie, if I was going to make a movie, I wasn't going to sit there and go, well, listen, my second one is going to be better than my first one, but I got to get through it. So, these people are going to sit in a movie theater for 3 hours, but I promise the payoff is in the next movie. I can't. That's
gonna come out in
hard.
2016, but no, wait, it's going to come out in 2017.
But when they
Yeah.
titled the movie Baahubali The Beginning,
Yeah.
I mean, if you
That's
set it
true.
up that it's going to be a 2-part movie, Avengers, I mean, when they were talking about part 1, I mean, there's going to be a cliffhanger.
Right.
I mean, there's going to be another movie.
The other thing is, when you watch Baahubali the beginning, the ending, I mean, beyond the fact that there are a lot of technical errors and that it is a very slow-moving movie and that there are no real big moments that you can go, oh my God, that was so amazing. It was more like, there was a decent story throughout. It was actually when you got to his father that it got really, really good.
Yeah.
And
And
but
the
the cliffhanger, right? The cliffhanger was so annoying that you're like, well, I don't have another 3 hours to watch the next one immediately, so now I'm gonna wait to watch the next one. And will I ever feel the need? Like, honestly, I'm not gonna lie. When I found out we were watching it for this week, I was like, oh, sweet mother of God, I don't want
It
to.
had to be forced.
But I'm glad I did because it was incredibly good. And that's the thing. Like, I highly recommend this one. This is a 10 out of 10 Goldblums.
Wow.
100%. But I have to knock it down to 3 Goldblums
Why?
because
Why?
I can't recommend this movie without recommending the first one. And the first one is difficult to watch, and you will have to sit through almost 3 hours of exposition in the first one that doesn't match to the second one. And now I'm like,
What if you package it together? Like, say, there's this 5-hour movie.
Wasn't it more like 6, 5.5?
Yeah.
it was closer to 7, but anyways,
No, the first one was only like 2.5. This one was like
2 hours and 45 minutes for the first
Terminator-
one, and almost
Can
3
you
hours
recommend
for the second
Terminator
one.
2, even though the original Terminator's not that great?
No.
maybe that's just an OCD thing for you.
It is. It honestly is. But I want to say,
But this one, I feel like you
Baahubali-
need the introduction
You do.
to the characters and the story.
if you're willing to sit through that first one, Baahubali, the conclusion is amazing, and it should be watched. And it is a 10 out of 10 Goldblum.
I'm going to go back and listen to the Baahubali 1. I'm pretty sure you gave it a good rating.
I did give it a
But
good
now,
rating.
because the second one's so
Because
much
the second
better,
one has
it
happened.
dropped.
it drops.
It
It's
does
so
drop.
bad.
You're
and
a
that's
strange little man.
That's the thing. I have to think about the overall experience. If I want someone to enjoy themselves, I want them to enjoy themselves when they watch the first one and the second one. But there's going to be a giant level of enjoyment difference between the first one and the second one.
It just builds up over time. And it's a giant explosion of goodness.
You know,
I was thinking of another word for that.
Yeah,
but
me
good
too.
job.
I realized
I
that.
sidestepped it.
so you know what it's like? It's like the Iron Man series.
Oh my god.
Let me
You
go.
have to watch the first one.
You
You
have
have
to watch
to
the
fall
first one.
asleep during the second one like I did.
No. You know what? I have made this recommendation 1,000 times for people. Watch the first one, skip the second one, and watch the third. Because the second one was so bad, it literally didn't add anything to the end at all. It was just
You
a side
have to
story.
watch Avengers for the third one to make sense.
Right,
And that's
so that's all you gotta
needed.
do.
Who's in the second one? Who's the bad guy? I don't remember.
I-
Whiplash.
Jeff Bridges.
It was a guy with really tanned self.
No, Jeff Bridges was the first one.
that was the first one. Let me look really quick.
It
I
was
think
it was what's his name?
Mickey Rourke.
Mickey
Mickey
York.
Rourke.
Yeah.
Rourke.
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 I think that was one of the
York.
first movies I watched in
That's
like
York.
4K, and I could just see the self tanner on his hands
Oh,
every
Lord.
time he
Skin
came on
seemed-
screen.
He seemed
Mickey
tight.
Rourke has just problems, okay?
He seemed tight in his own skin, didn't he? Like it felt like it was.
Have you
Right?
ever seen Mickey Rourke?
I don't want to see Mickey.
I'm going to pull up Mickey Rourke.
Oh
Mickey
dear,
Dork.
don't do it.
I'm going to do that
So
because...
yeah, the second Iron Man did not add anything, and because of it, Leonard never saw the third Iron Man, and I was like, "You will thank me
This-
for
But
this."
I mean, going to Iron Man, I'm really disappointed that it didn't incorporate like his drinking problems into him.
Okay,
I feel like that
so...
would have been. I know it's Disney.
Okay, first off, take a look at Mickey Rourke.
He looks tight in his own skin, man.
He used to be pretty.
Oh, yeah, he was.
He did
He
used
tried to
to be
stay
pretty.
pretty.
You want to know what happened to him? He became a boxer.
Oh.
Now he has cauliflower ears
Oh.
and a fucked up face.
No one ever stays pretty after boxing.
Anyways, no, see, that was the thing, though. That's why I am having a hard time, like, throwing 10 out of 10 overall on the entire series.
The Baahubali.
I can give it a 3 out of 10 simply because, first off, as I've explained before, my rating system is by Goldblums, which one Goldblum is 5 stars. So I'm still giving it a lot of stars.
Very, very high standard.
It is. So when I give you no Goldblums, that doesn't necessarily mean it was terrible,
Like you could have gotten a star.
or maybe 2.
A fifth of a Goldblum.
Yeah, it's a fifth of a Goldblum. No, but that's the thing. Like, I have a hard time with it because of my experience with Iron Man. I hadn't seen the third one. I watched the second one a little bit and hated it and didn't ever want to go back to the series because I was afraid it was just never, ever, ever going to get any better. And I ended up being... It's almost like Thor. Holy crap, the second Thor was
The
horrible.
second one was horrible. Why can't they make
Yeah, I
a
only
good
saw it in
second
theaters.
movie?
I saw it in theaters.
It was so
Wait,
bad.
Captain America 2 was good. I take that back.
Right.
I did not like Winter Soldier.
What?
No, it wasn't for me.
Oh my god.
I don't like the
God.
actor that plays. I don't like that character, the Winter Soldier. I don't like him.
Why?
I know he's supposed to be the new Captain America, but I don't want a
You
new
don't
Captain America.
love Bucky?
No, he's
Oh my god.
brooding and
Listen,
boring.
in the comics, Bucky becomes.
That's what I'm
Cap.
saying. I know he does, and he's like a young kid, and he's like a younger version. But then like,
I
this
don't
guy
think
was
they'll
just
ever
like,
do that in the movie series,
Yeah.
but come on now.
But he's gonna be there
I just didn't
forever,
want-
so
I
you
didn't like
better
Winter
get used
Soldier.
to
You're
it.
gonna
I
have to
thought
get
Civil
used to
War
it.
was really good.
Yeah, it was.
It is. Okay, I've taken us off this topic really, really far.
I love
my,
Avengers.
my personal
I haven't
vendetta
seen the
is
new
against
Thor
it,
yet.
so. Oh, Ragnarok is amazing.
know,
Oh, it's
I've
real
heard.
good.
I've heard.
Real
So,
good.
People don't like how much comedy was in it, though.
That was the
I
best part.
enjoy
'Cause it
things
had
that have comedy.
Jeff Goldblum in it.
I think,
Hello.
yeah, and at this point, I think everybody knows what the Avengers are, and they're kind of like self-aware of,
Yeah.
of what they are.
And I
so
think
it's
that's the best part about the Thor universe is that it does have some humor in it.
Mm-hmm.
And I like that.
And it's
it-
because it's weird if you think about it. Like, what is he, a god? Is he an alien? Is he from? It's
Yeah.
in that universe. Thor has to be kind of wacky because he is
Yeah.
wacky.
it's well made.
He's
in
an
that
alien.
sense.
Yeah.
But all right, what are you guys giving Baahubali to? The conclusion.
I would definitely recommend it. I
Uh-huh.
would watch both of them. I mean, it's a measly 5 hours. Who doesn't have 5
Oh
hours?
yeah, 5 hours.
Just watch the whole
Nothing.
Harry Potter series while you're at it.
The whole Harry Potter series would be like,
14 hours.
longer.
15 hours.
Way
And then watch
longer.
Lord of the
Longer.
Rings after that. I did that
Which
once.
version?
What do you mean, which version?
Lord of the Rings has a lot of extended cuts out there.
Oh, no. So you gotta stick with the OG, because if you watch the extended cuts, you will die.
Just from the starvation.
I'll give it a 4 arrows out of 2.
To what?
Arrows.
Oh, okay.
Got it.
Because the Swana can't shoot 2, but she can shoot 4.
So
awkwardly
Yes.
turns.
Please take this over.
It exceeds expectations, so it's a 4 out of 2. It's a 4 out of 2.
Well, thank you for clarifying. That makes a lot
2
more
times the
sense.
movie equals double the arrows.
I'm gonna
Gotcha.
give this 10 elephants out of 5 fires.
We had way more elephants in this one.
We had a lot of elephants.
We did have more
up in
elephants,
here.
but I want to point out that's not a recommendation.
It is. Oh, well, watch this. That's my rating.
There you go.
I really did enjoy this one. There was so many good dance scenes. I love me a good dance scene.
Oh my god.
I
Okay.
was like, what happens in India if you can't dance? Do you just like die?
Yeah.
Like, is that
Okay.
end game?
You know what? Actually, you could watch this one without the first one. They do enough little synopsis at the beginning.
At the beginning, they
Okay,
do recap
almost-
the whole
I
first
feel like if you
one.
just like didn't even care, because I mean you don't have to care about the younger Baahubali. Just that
That's
it's
true.
like, That okay,
Because it could be a vengeance story at the end.
yeah, it's just
Yeah.
okay. Now it's like okay, Baahubali looks like he's
Someone
reincarnated.
should try this and let us know how it goes.
I mean,
I
They've already-
task
they've heard
anybody
all
that I know
plot.
that listens to this, like the 4 of you, give it a shot.
just watch the second one, see how it goes.
See what
Tell
happens.
me what you think. Throw a punch my way when you see me in the office.
Or mom.
Okay,
Watch it, Mom.
here's the
Hope you're
thing.
recovering well.
Yeah.
We need to talk about something. And sadly, Trevor, you won't be able to add anything to this conversation.
Oh, are we going to talk about the sad thing?
Well, I wasn't, but now I feel like we have to mention that.
Oh.
No.
What were we going to talk about?
So first, let's mention the sad thing so that we can end on a happy note. How about that?
Oh, okay.
So obviously, we did a podcast a little bit way back about "Wait for Your Laugh," which was the story of Rosemary, an incredible actress who was on the Dick Van Dyke Show and had an amazing career. We were lucky enough to be able to be in the room with Dick Van Dyke and all these people that knew her and give these amazing stories about her. Today, she passed away at the age of
94.
94.
Wow, that's
She
a
had an
life.
amazing life, but it's something that we should remember, that these amazing people are out there that had incredible lives that we never hear about because maybe they just weren't as popular or maybe they just fell out of grace. And that's the thing. People like her, their stories need to be heard. So I highly recommend, if you haven't listened to our podcast, listen to it. But I really, really recommend you go watch Wait for Your Laugh. It's playing in select theaters. Hopefully, Jason Wise, the person who's the director, will be able to get it onto a streaming service. And then one day we can come on and just be like,
It's here.
here we go. We're going to talk about it again with Trevor.
Because we can now.
So we really hope that her family, her daughter, I forget her name.
Does
But
they call
anyways.
her Nope?
Nope, yeah. Well, I'm hoping that her daughter finds some peace in the coming days and that everyone that knew her just remembers her for being the amazing actress she was.
And I'm sure she
And
touched
singer.
lots of people's
singer.
lives. And because
And
of her,
dancer.
they do not have to wait for their laughs.
And more importantly, because of her, female comedians and female actresses have better opportunities.
Like Leonard.
and yeah, just like me. So yeah, that's the sad thing. That's the spiel. But you know what? From these sad moments, we get to enjoy the things. We get to look back and remember the happier parts of it, which is her performance on Dick Van Dyke. If you haven't watched the Dick Van Dyke Show, or if you haven't watched it in a while, go to Hulu. It's all on there. Go play any of those and laugh. Enjoy it, because that's what she would want you to do.
Truth.
Yeah. So now let's talk about something else. The Greatest Showman.
Oh my
Oh, you
God,
guys saw it?
Trevor. You have to go see The Greatest
I want
Showman.
to go see it.
You will love it.
We are
Maybe
going
see-
this weekend
I'll probably see Coco tomorrow.
again.
Coco's so good, you're going to cry.
I'm gonna see Coco tomorrow. I cry at, like a lot. I cry at random movies.
Oh, trust me, you're gonna be
You're gonna
bawling.
cry
Do me
all
a favor.
throughout.
Take a picture of directly after the movie. Like take a picture before the
Of
movie.
my makeup smeared all over.
Yeah, and just the mascara.
I felt like I
running.
was a hot mess after Coco. I was like, oh my God.
Anyways, so Greatest Showman. We did another podcast about this. I feel like I'm just harkening back,
Promoting us.
but we were spot on. This movie was so good.
It was so
We
good.
were spot. Don't believe the damn critics out there that are saying that it's not any good. You know what? These are the people that don't like musicals. I have that feeling because they're like, most of them were saying you're trying to make the audience feel like they're at a P.T. Barnum circus, but it's not really working. No, it is. It did. It was
Is
amazing.
that your critic's voice?
That's my critic's
They're
voice.
from the 1920s.
And they did like
It's the
I-
dirigible races.
the music was so cool. It was like modern and it was pop.
It was
and
amazing.
That's really
It was
fun. I like that.
so
It
good.
was really
and
well
they
done.
had such amazing dancers, and they had like dance numbers throughout. It was like going to a Broadway show.
Yeah, it was
like that.
absolutely amazing. And you know what? You need to go see this. Trevor, you need to go see this.
I will.
And I highly recommend it because, all right, everyone knows P.T. Barnum was a horrible person. Like that's not a secret in life. He exploited people. He took people who were very fragile and very, they had
The
actual
outcasts.
issues, and he used them to make money, but he tried to make them feel like they were part of a family, but he scammed them every which way, and then he lied to everybody about what he was doing because he was a shyster. That's what he was. But you know what? Go into this movie and enjoy the P.T.
whimsy
Barnum
of it.
on screen,
Yes.
not the P.T. Barnum in real
Enjoy
life.
Wolverine
'Cause-
as P.T. Barnum.
Let's just take a moment and remember that movies are movies, and that's where we go to escape. And especially with a bad person like P.T. Barnum, you need to not focus on the fact that he was just a horrible,
And
horrible
just
human.
focus on the amazing song and dance.
Oh, the opening sequence. You know you're in
Oh
for
my god.
a
Trevor,
good
you have to
time.
go see this because the opening sequence
Alone.
is amazing.
Well, you know you're in for a good time when you're like sitting there and the movie starts off with a bit of nostalgia for you, which is the old 21st century or 20th century Fox beginning.
Oh.
And then all of a
And then
sudden,
it goes black and white.
yeah, it just goes black to like the old 20s films, but you just hear stamping feet and then the silhouette of P.T. Barnum. And it's like, holy crap.
That's awesome.
And they immediately start out into an incredible song and dance number. And you're like, damn.
Already
Damn.
floored.
And I don't know if you remember going to a P.T. Barnum and Bailey circus.
When I was a kid, yeah.
There was the silhouette beginnings to every single show.
Mm-hmm.
That's what this is representing, is the actual silhouette beginning of the circus master in the center of the ring, where the lights were so bright that you would only see like the outline of him, his hat and everything. That's exactly how it starts.
That's cool.
And it's amazing. Like he comes from the shadows into the light, like just like they would, and comes out with all this like these beautiful colors and all the people and all the actors and the acrobats and the lions and the elephants, and it's like, holy crap.
I literally only remember the ices from the circus. I
That's
don't
fine.
remember the
I
actual
went multiple
circus.
times because I was a big fan of the circus. So,
I remember those nasty peanuts or fake marshmallow peanuts.
Oh.
circus peanuts is what you're talking about.
Yeah, there we go.
Do you know why they're called circus peanuts?
Because they're sold at the circus.
No,
Because they match the tent.
I think we're done here.
But wait, why are they called circus peanuts?
I'm leaving this on a Baahubali.
Leonard, I have to know.
Baahubali originated as one of our musical. You know that?
It did,
It was,
yes.
It was chosen
It was
as
our
musical.
attempt at trying to find a Bollywood musical, which we failed because it turned out it was not.
But we ended up with an amazing movie in the end.
So, 2018, what do we all hope to do in 2018? You guys want to do a quick resolution thing
Yeah.
for the podcast? You don't have to do it for your personal lives if you're uncomfortable with that.
Well, last year my
doing-
resolution was to not die, and
Oh,
so
that's-
far so good.
Yeah, like
100
She takes
You
the
got
easy
3
way
days.
out.
Almost 100% success rate. That's not true. I knew several people that died this year, so technically I'm on a great route.
Why do you have to bring it down?
I was successful. Let's look at the positives. I'm almost successful. We still have a couple days.
Trevor!
Gonna have a baby in 2018, so I'll be
Another one.
a
Probably shouldn't
a
screw
better
that up.
father. Always taking steps to be the best dad I can. So that's,
Aw, that's so sweet.
that's a good one. Sounds nice, makes me look good. Leonard is just a shitty person, so.
It's not hard to make Leonard look bad.
For the podcast, yeah, I want to.
Yeah, that's great.
Let's get some.
Uh-huh.
Look at
How's
this.
it going?
He's such a meat. He just throws us on us and doesn't give me like a
I
5
would
second
love
buffer.
to get paid for our podcast in some sort of way.
That would be
Like,
fantastic.
Yeah, get a
sponsor?
sponsorship. That's a good.
A
I mean, a year.
sponsorship
goal.
That's definitely
Yeah.
an achievable goal.
Like,
get a sponsorship.
That'd be awesome.
Yeah.
You know what I want for 2018? You know what I want?
A piece of cake?
I want a piece of cake.
Quesadilla.
Well, the
No.
cake is a lie.
This is what I want. And this is something that hopefully all of you will keep me to. And to anybody who is actually listening, I want to interact with you more. I want to interact with our people more. And more importantly, I want to interact with people in the industry more. So I am hoping in 2018 we have interviews and more interactive podcast moments where we get to be with you, talk with you, and show you something you just didn't know before. Not just talk about the movies that we love and talk about these streaming things that you didn't even know were out there, but let's go farther.
Yeah.
Let's try harder.
Let's go to the people.
Let's go to the people.
I'd also like to use our YouTube.
Yeah, I would really like for YouTube Red to stop charging me.
Hey, we
for
can get 3 months.
nothing.
We get 3 months free right now.
Why?
I don't know. YouTube Red has a promotion that
Well,
if you before the end of the year, if you
I
sign up.
already got it, so I'm already paying.
Oh.
Wait, is that random bill?
I believe so, yeah. All right. Well, and also I want to watch Jaga Jasu in 2018.
Oh yeah, Jago Jesus.
Yeah, that was
Wait,
not
what's-
it at all.
what's-
You didn't say it at
I
all.
said Jago Jesus.
You said Jaga Jasu.
This is Jago Jesus.
What is Jaga Jesus?
It's an Indian movie that I
It's a
bought.
detective.
But
Oh,
it's,
about the detective.
Hey, there's a new
Yeah.
Netflix detective, Indian
I
detective.
saw that.
I saw that.
I think I recommended this because we're watching Baahubali.
I did, and I'm intrigued by it. I might give it a shot, but
What are you watching right now?
right now, I'm absolutely not watching anything.
What'd you
I
watch?
don't think.
What'd you watch last night? What'd you fall asleep to?
Last night,
You didn't fall asleep to anything.
I didn't fall asleep to a damn thing because I had to take Alina to the airport.
Oh,
And then I had to fight with security,
Someone stole our parking spot.
and I made sure they had a bad day.
You
You're
go,
kind
girl.
of mean a little bit. I feel bad about that.
What's the last thing you watched, Celeste?
This girl would feel bad if she turned a mugger in. I swear to God.
I would. I'd be like, I'm so sorry.
sorry, I got you in trouble.
I'm not a narc, okay?
Oh, I'm a hardcore narc.
Oh, what am I watching?
We really aren't watching anything right
I'm not
now.
really
What's the
watching
last
anything.
thing you watched?
The last.
Greatest Showman.
Oh.
And it was great. Go see it.
Yeah. Honestly, when it winds down to the end of the year, it's very difficult for me to find something new to watch.
Although there is a show coming out in 2018 that I'm pretty excited for.
What's that?
Because it's an NBC comedy, and I love NBC comedies. You got 30 Rock and all that good stuff.
She's stalling as she tries to remember the
It's
name.
called Good Girls, and it's Donna from Parks and Rec,
Okay, like it so far.
and the daughter from the person that is Lorelai Gilmore. I forget her real name.
Oh,
Oh,
okay, yeah, I
yeah,
know what
yeah.
you're talking
But
about.
in Parenthood, she had a daughter, and she's in this series as well. And there's one other person. So they're basically three mothers that are having to make ways for their family, to provide, to make ends meet. So they become robbers.
Oh, it's a TV show.
Sounds like
yes.
Sugar and Spice.
It does
the
sound like
older
Sugar
years.
and Spice. And so I'm here for it, coming in February 2018 to
Oh,
NBC.
Yeah. All right.
Hey, yeah, let's go for it. We'll give it a shot.
I'm here for it.
I'm here for anything.
What are you watching, Trevor?
Frasier.
Yeah! You hate Frasier.
But his apartment's
It's so
cool.
it's so good. I don't think I've ever seen season 1, so I'm just starting from the beginning and just
What?
going through it.
Oh my
Okay,
God.
Tim Allen.
Sorry,
Comedic
Frasier
person.
is such a big deal to me. When I was a kid, I used to watch Frasier a ton. It actually
Because
explains.
he's pretentious.
Well, I watched
Exactly.
it because I watched Friends. It was always before it.
Yeah, but for me, it was actually what I watched for. I didn't watch for Friends.
See, I watched for Friends.
I liked Friends, but I loved Frasier, and it was because I loved Kelsey Grammer. I loved the lifestyle he lived, and it actually is what made me want to go into psychology when I first was going into college.
And that
then-
panned out real well.
You should
Actually, I really wish I would have continued that. I think I made a horrible mistake.
you can still go into we're kind of doing right, talking to people, and we just need to talk. We just need some callers in here, and we can get you some. We can make you.
Hello, everyone. I'm listening.
Well, that's just
That was-
creepy when you say it.
Is that why you're so pretentious?
It is exactly
That is
why.
not why he's
It's
so
exactly why
pretentious.
I'm not even kidding. It's exactly why I'm pretentious. It's why I like the things I like, and it's why I started cooking at a young age, because I watched Frasier cook these amazing meals, and I was like, holy crap, I got to do that. But when you grow up poor and you're like, Mom, I need some Sauvignon Blanc so that I can make this boeuf bouillon.
That's funny.
She didn't like it so much. She was like, this is like $300. Here's red wine from the store. And some
Sounds
chuck
delicious,
round.
though. Did you make it good?
I could not eat it because first off, I dumped the whole stupid bottle of wine in there. And second, my meat was purple.
Ooh.
Well, actually, apparently it was very delicious. I just didn't like it because I've never had alcohol before, and I don't
Getting
like
drunk
the
on meat?
flavor. No, it actually did boil it all off.
Okay.
So my dad just ate everything. It was just gone.
That sounds delicious, though.
That does sound delicious.
I perfected my recipe over the years. So
I've never had it though.
Leonard should make us some.
let me explain why. I'm going to explain why really quick. I know we've been talking forever. And
Oh,
we're
wow.
way off topic
I
now.
think it's our longest episode ever.
You know, it's the end of the year.
Yeah, it's the
Yeah.
end,
With
end
the
of season
bang.
1, or
Yeah.
whatever we're gonna call it.
Season 1. Season 1's always the pilot.
Yeah.
You know how it goes. A few episodes. Anyways, the reason I don't make it anymore, it takes me about 9 hours.
That's too long.
Well, 9 hours from prep to finish. And the reason is because I'm very meticulous. And I have to make like bouquet garnis and I have to do everything properly. And it's so intense that I just stress out.
right now.
I just stress out when I make it. So I just don't do it.
He watched both Bahubalis twice. And
I
if
So,
you ever make what is this dish called?
boeuf bouillon.
If you're ever making boeuf bouillon, put on Bahubali, and you
Boeuf
can
bourguignon. How about that? Boeuf bourguignon.
boeuf bourguignon,
There we
and
go.
you can
Boeuf
watch
bourguignon.
both Bahubalis while you make some boeuf
You
bourguignon.
know what boeuf bourguignon is? Beef stew. That's essentially
there you
what it
go.
is. It's,
or
it's
just
a French
put
beef stew.
Ratatouille on repeat.
Ratatouille, I haven't seen that in a long time.
I love that
Oh,
movie.
now I want to watch Ratatouille, guys.
I love it.
Hey, I saw Guardians of the Galaxy finally too.
Finally?
The second one, yeah.
Netflix?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Wait, no. Yeah, it was Netflix.
What do you
Yeah.
think? I'm
Well, it-
personally not like a huge Guardians of the Galaxy fan.
It was good. Groot was cute. So.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good opening sequence, I think, that they have with Groot dancing.
Mm-hmm.
That is pretty good. Anytime anyone dances, I'm pretty happy.
I
Except for
just
when
love
Trevor
I
that.
dances.
guess that's how I picture my son looking like right now.
Except-
Like a little Groot.
Here's the thing.
I don't think your son's gonna look like that.
Maybe he does.
Is
You don't
your
know my
son going
son.
to be a tree?
No, just little big eyes, little body, little dancer.
We're going to get a text on the day that your son is born.
I'll send you a picture of him.
And it's going to be, I am Groot. Then you're just
It's
going
one of the little, I am Groot.
to... And then you're just going to be like, I don't know what happened. I don't know whose child this is.
It's not even a
Okay.
picture of his child.
It's just a gif. All right, everyone. You know what? It's time for us to wrap this up. It's time for us to both wrap this up and wrap the year 2017. It
was a good year.
And the first season of Director Review is coming to a close now.
And our
It's been a
billion
good
specials.
couple months.
We've had
It's been a fit. It's been-
Netflindy, Doc Talk, Musical Monday.
Oh, my
What
God.
else
Don't
we
worry.
got?
When we come back in 2018, we're going to attempt to rein it in a
We're
little
gonna
bit
have a
on
game
that.
plan.
We're going to have game plans. But I promise you this. It's only been about 3 months, a little bit more than that. But we're so thankful to be able to do this.
Yeah.
We found our voice, and we're going to keep going with it. And I hope you join us for more. And thank you so much for joining us as far as you have.
Mm-hmm.
It's been fantastic. And I know we're probably talking to most people that we actually know and not anybody that we don't know. So
Thanks, Trevor's mom.
thanks,
Yeah.
Trevor's mom,
We look forward to
for
actually-
buying 400 phones and downloading our...
Hey, you know what? My mom got a movie pass because of you.
Really?
Yeah, she got a movie pass.
She's putting too much. You're putting too much into my words, Mrs. Thomas.
But honestly, we're about to see your third movie of this month, and I'm like, well, I probably should have a movie pass.
Yeah, we're going to buy you a movie pass.
Movie pass.
Movie pass.
Movie pass.
Maybe you should,
Multi-pass?
Trevor, because you're gonna have a small child, so you won't be able to see
Yeah.
a
I
movie
know.
for
I
what,
haven't.
like
I
another
still
5
haven't-
years.
Yeah. It's hard to see movies.
Don't worry, we'll keep you going in movies.
We're gonna teach Leonard how to hold a baby so you guys can babysit and go to the movies.
Yes. Leonard doesn't like holding babies. He's never done it.
I hate you.
Leonard's gonna hold my son.
I'm not gonna hold. I'm not holding anything.
Videos
Leonard,
to come.
promise me, will you hold my son when he's born?
All right, everyone. Thank you so much.
Katapa held Bahubali.
I will hold him above my head.
Put his foot on your forehead.
His foot is not going on my forehead.
Put his foot on your damn forehead.
His foot's going nowhere near my face, boy.
It's a clean foot.
That's
It is,
true.
it's a little baby
When he's
foot.
dripping with Erica's innards, you put his foot on your forehead.
Oh my God, where are we going with this? We need to just wrap it up before we get too crazy here. Oh, all right. Have a wonderful new year. I hope it starts out amazing. We will see you the second week into January. Well, I don't even know what date that is. I am bad with dates.
Just remember, we release Monday and Friday, which is sometimes Tuesday and Saturday.
Which is also sometimes Wednesday and never. All right, everyone. Thank you so much for joining us on this first season. And we hope you have a wonderful, whatever the hell time of day it is. And also, thank you so much, Trevor, for joining us as you have.
Oh, yeah.
You don't even live here.
I know.
He basically does.
That's
They
my
live
only
like
excuse for
a
doing
million
this.
miles away.
He does. He lives really far away.
And we want to, of course, thank every guest that we've had, Mr. Tommy Tran, Miss Alina Lee, and Mr. Ruben Contreras, and of course, the beautiful Celeste Camacho.
I live here.
Yeah,
We may be growing this.
we may be. We haven't made the decision yet.
Yeah. So
But-
look to that.
Look forward to a cool announcement, hopefully.
Yeah.
All right, everyone. Thank you so much, and we will talk to you soon in the new year. All right, bye-bye.
Toodles.
Bye.
God damn it!
There goes the final episode.
Son of a
DTR
bitch.
was never again.
You know,
Why
the
won't it
stop button is very difficult to push.
That's what she
Stop
said.
it.
Well,
Oh, God.
now I feel like I can't
Oh my
because...
God, just push it.
Hold on. Okay, I think it's silent enough. We can go down.